A shocking headline is making waves. Reports are circulating that Iran is allegedly crowdfunding a staggering $20 million bounty to assassinate former President Donald Trump. The claim is as sensational as it is alarming, instantly grabbing attention and sparking heated debates across the globe. It's the kind of story that seems tailor-made for the digital age, where news spreads at lightning speed and the most outrageous claims often rise to the top. This story, tailor-made for social media, paints Iran as a global villain and taps into deep anxieties about foreign threats. It's not just news, it's a narrative that plays on our fears, our suspicions, and our tendency to believe the worst about our adversaries. As the story ricochets through Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp groups, it becomes more than just a headline. It becomes a rallying cry, a meme, and a source of outrage. The idea of a crowd-funded assassination plot is both modern and terrifying, making the rumor feel urgent and widespread. It's a scenario that seems ripped from the pages of a spy thriller, yet it's being discussed as if it's unfolding in real time. The combination of technology, money, and international intrigue makes the story irresistible and incredibly shareable. But the very elements that make this story so viral, its simplicity, specificity, and emotional punch, should make us pause. Sensational stories are designed to provoke strong reactions, often bypassing our rational minds and going straight for our emotions. When a claim is this dramatic, it's worth asking why it's so easy to believe, and who benefits from our outrage. Sensational claims often bypass critical thinking, especially when they confirm our biases. We're more likely to accept stories that fit our worldview, even if the evidence is thin or the sources are questionable. In today's media landscape where misinformation can spread faster than the truth, it's more important than ever to slow down and question what we're being told. Before accepting such explosive allegations, we must ask, where did this story come from? Who is promoting it? What evidence exists to support these claims? Responsible journalism demands that we dig deeper, verify sources, and look for corroborating details before jumping to conclusions. Otherwise, we risk spreading misinformation and fueling unnecessary panic. In an age of information overload, our first reaction should be skepticism, not outrage. It's easy to get swept up in the drama of breaking news, but critical thinking is our best defense against manipulation and misinformation. By questioning what we see and hear, we protect ourselves, and our communities, from being misled. The $20 million bounty story is a perfect example of why we must investigate before we believe. In a world where headlines can be crafted to shock and mislead, our responsibility is to seek the truth, no matter how sensational the claim may be. When we look to credible journalism, we expect to find stories grounded in facts, supported by thorough investigation and reliable sources. Journalists spend countless hours verifying information, cross-checking details, and consulting experts to ensure the public receives the truth. In a world flooded with rumors and misinformation, this commitment to accuracy is more important than ever. But when we turn to official sources and reputable news outlets, the sensational story of Iran supposedly crowdfunding a $20 million plot to assassinate former President Trump quickly unravels. There are no credible reports, no government statements, and no evidence to support such a claim. In fact, no major news organization or intelligence agency anywhere in the world has reported on any campaign resembling this alleged plot. The silence from these institutions speaks volumes. Instead, the rumor seems to have originated in the dark corners of the internet, anonymous forums, unverified social media posts, and fringe websites. From there it spread rapidly, gaining traction as it was shared and reshared, often without any scrutiny or fact-checking. In reality, the only recent high-profile crowdfunding campaign making headlines was for a domestic U.S. legal case, completely unrelated to Iran or any international plot. This fact alone highlights how easily misinformation can overshadow the truth. Similarly, claims about Iran preparing for war with advanced Chinese missiles have no basis in fact. These stories are not supported by any credible evidence or official confirmation, yet they continue to circulate online. Fact-checkers and investigative journalists have thoroughly examined these sensational assertions and found nothing to substantiate them. Their work is crucial in separating fact from fiction in today's media landscape. The truth is clear, this story is pure fiction, crafted to provoke fear, confusion, and division among the public. By questioning sources and seeking evidence, we can protect ourselves from falling victim to such manufactured narratives. While the sensational assassination plot has been debunked as false, The reality on the ground in the Middle East is far more alarming and complex than any rumor. The region is gripped by a rapidly escalating crisis, with tensions mounting between major powers and their allies. In recent weeks, military buildups have intensified across borders, and the threat of open conflict is no longer a distant possibility. It is unfolding in real time. Armies are mobilizing, and the world is watching with bated breath as the situation grows more volatile by the hour. On June 17, 2025, the crisis reached a new level when Israel launched a series of precision airstrikes deep inside Iranian territory. The main target was a major oil refinery in Tehran, a critical piece of Iran's infrastructure. The attack resulted in the death of Senior General Ali Shadmani, a key figure in Iran's military command, sending shockwaves through the region. Israel's campaign is not just about retaliation, it's a calculated effort to cripple Iran's military leadership and disrupt its nuclear ambitions. The strikes are part of a broader strategy to weaken Iran's ability to project power and deter further aggression. Iran wasted no time in responding. Within hours, it launched a series of complex, coordinated attacks on Israeli air bases. These strikes were not carried out by Iran alone. Regional allies, including Yemen's Houthis, joined the assault, demonstrating the interconnected nature of the conflict. As missiles fly and troops move toward contested borders, the conflict threatens to spill over into neighboring countries. Refugees are already fleeing the violence, and the risk of a wider regional war is growing with each passing day. The United States, led by President Trump, has responded with stern warnings and ultimatums. American forces are being deployed throughout the region, and the White House has made it clear that direct military intervention is on the table if the situation deteriorates further. The announcement of a possible evacuation of Tehran by President Trump sent shockwaves through the Iranian capital. Streets filled with panicked civilians, desperate to escape what many fear could become a devastating war zone. Around the world, leaders are scrambling to respond. Emergency meetings are being held at the United Nations and in capitals across the globe, as diplomats and military strategists try to prevent the conflict from spiraling out of control and engulfing the entire region. In this moment, the real danger lies not in rumors or misinformation, but in the missiles being launched and the high-stakes decisions made behind closed doors. The future of the Middle East, and perhaps the world, hangs in the balance. There was a real attempt on Trump's life, but it had nothing to do with Iran. In September 2024, Ryan Wesley Routh was arrested near Trump's Florida golf course with a rifle. The FBI found no links to Iran. Routh acted alone, driven by his own ideology. In a self-published book, Routh bizarrely urged Iran to target Trump, but authorities found no evidence of any contact. Disinformation peddlers twisted this detail, falsely connecting Routh's actions to the international crisis. The truth, the threat, was domestic, not foreign. This confusion shows how easily facts can be manipulated to fit a false narrative. The real-world conflict has immediate economic consequences. Oil prices surged to their highest levels in years after Israel's strikes and Iran's retaliation. Higher oil costs mean more expensive gas, pricier goods, and rising inflation for everyone. The risk of disruption to the Strait of Hormuz, a vital oil shipping lane, could trigger a global energy crisis. Economic uncertainty spreads as companies hesitate to invest and supply chains face disruption. Unlike viral rumors, these impacts are tangible and affect people worldwide. The true cost of conflict is felt at the pump and in our wallets. The viral rumor about an Iranian plot is a case study in modern misinformation. Such stories exploit existing fears and biases, especially during crises. Social media algorithms amplify sensational content, making it seem credible through sheer repetition. Blending real events like the Middle East conflict and the unrelated Trump assassination attempt with fiction makes the lie more believable. Disinformation thrives when emotions run high and trust in institutions is low. Simple, dramatic stories spread faster than complex truths. Recognizing these tactics is the first step to resisting manipulation. We must learn to question before we share. As the conflict escalates, world leaders are calling for restraint. French President Macron warns that regime change in Iran would bring chaos, not stability. Turkey's President Erdogan blames Israel for the violence, reflecting deep international divisions. The G7 supports Israel's right to self-defense but urges de-escalation to avoid a wider war. America's allies favor diplomacy, while President Trump demands Iran's surrender. The world is holding its breath, hoping diplomacy can prevent disaster. The outcome depends on whether cooler heads can prevail. The Iran-Trump assassination plot is a fabrication, a warning about the dangers of misinformation. No evidence supports the claim, and the real crisis is serious enough without invented threats. Sensational rumors distract from the facts, real conflict, real casualties, and real economic fallout. Our responsibility is to question sources, check facts, and resist clickbait. Ask, is this from a reputable outlet? Are there verifiable sources? Is it designed to inform or provoke? Cross-checking claims protects us from being misled. In a world of confusion, critical thinking is a civic duty. Verify before you share, because the truth matters most.